What is up, guys, and welcome back to part 2 of Buzz or Chuzz. If you guys don't know, this is where all of my Discord members send in stocks that they want listed as buy or sell ratings, and I'm going to do just that. I'm going to be taking a look at their technical analysis and their financials and give you guys an accurate rating on whether I would buy or sell this stock. And of course, you guys know we have to spice it up just a little bit. Instead of buy or sell, that's boring. We're going to be going with Buzz or Chuzz. Of course, Buzz representing a buy and Chuzz representing a sell. Now, I don't want to waste any more time. It seems like we have gotten the idea down. Buying and selling is pretty easy. So I want to get right into this. Make sure you guys do like and subscribe as always. Make sure you guys do let me know in the comments down below what stocks I missed. If you guys disagree with anything I said in today's video, if you guys have a buy when I might say sell, or you might be chuzzing when I'm buzzing, let me know in the comments down below. I really do enjoy seeing your guys' enthusiasm, comments, all that kind of stuff. So I'm rambling. Let's get right into it. Now, starting off the video here, we have my boy Criticism coming in with Meta, and Meta is looking absolutely amazing. You guys remember that they had to pay that one-time tax that is not going to impact this company in the long term by any means, and that did shoot down the company all the way from around $750 all the way back down under $600, where we were getting most of our entries, and currently Meta is my largest holding. Now, I do want to talk about some possibilities with Meta here because I want to see us come back in, retest this gap, which we actually did last week, and then from there move up through this gap that we created on that earnings, and then from there back to all-time highs, retesting the gap, then up to 900, which is my first price target. And from prices today, that is a great gain of just around 35%. And then from there, all the way up to around $1,096. That is a nice little 6-7% right there. Roll the clip. And then I will also talk about their financials because we all know that Meta has great financials. They're growing at a great rate. And you guys can see my price targets are lining up pretty well with whatever the fuck, trading views got, whatever. But you guys can see EPS is growing at a great rate. We even saw a pullback in 2025 because of that one-time tax that did tank their EPS, seeing the first, decline in EPS in quite some time. But in 2026, we grow. In 2027, we're more. In 2028, we are looking primed. So we are looking really, really great here. And you guys can see revenue is continuing to increase. 200 billion in 2025. First of all, that's insane, all the way up to around 311 billion, doing about 50% from here to 2028 in just 3 years. That's a really, really great growth for this stock, and that is why I am going to be giving Meta a buzz to start the video. Now, request number 2 is coming in from my boy Booney, and he is asking for Intel. Now, Intel is a very, very interesting stock, and the stock has actually rallied back from lows just last year at $17, more than doubling up to around $45 where we are currently. Now, I do first want to take a look at Intel's, financials and then jump back onto the chart. So first, I do want to note that EPS did fall off very, very heavily. Same with revenue, and then now we are kind of equaling back out. Revenue isn't growing where I'd want to see it, but EPS is. So EPS is growing from 33 cents all the way back up to $1.93. But I am very concerned on why it even dropped off in the first place. Of course, I'm not the biggest Intel bull, so I don't really care to find this out. I don't like Intel. I'm not a big fan of what they do. I don't think that they have done much, and here is my showing of proof. Okay, so back in 2020, you're still red. If you bought this company back in 2020, you're still red. Also, if you bought this company back in 2000, you are still red. I haven't seen much improvement within this company. All I have seen is EPS revenue draw back. I know that they are forecasting forward a good bit of growth for EPS, but all that I have to play off of is past results. We have future results that could be coming, but right now it does kind of look like the government and all these, these partnerships are just kind of trying to push up Intel as they don't have any new products. They aren't coming out with anything new, and I hate to shit on it because I don't think it's a bad stock by any means, but I am saying that I think that there is better opportunities out there, more opportunities that have, actual innovation and change within their company. I don't think Intel is that. So for that reason, I'm going to have to give Intel a big old fat chuzz. Stock request number 3 is coming in from Seeker's Wizard. He is requesting for SoFi, so let's go ahead and break that down. Now, SoFi is looking very, very great, and you guys know SoFi is a good company. They have great financial growth, which you guys will see in just a second. But overall, I do want to talk about how well this company does respect support and resistance lines. So you guys can see we have prior resistance right here, turn to new support. Prior resistance right here, turn to new support. prior resistance right here 3 times, now turning into support. And if we can continue to turn this into support, I want to show you guys one chart, and that is going to be Robinhood, where you guys can see very, very comparable. And then you guys see from here where SoFi was, we are actually rocketing higher. So we could see much of the same with SoFi here, and that is what I am forecasting for this company. I'll talk about their financials in just a second, but for targets here, I have a target up to $40 from prices today, and then all the way up to $48, which is an increase of about 82%. I also do have a 2028 price target, which is going to be up 201%, all the way up to $80.45. I do believe that this company can get there eventually. I don't think that day is today, but I do believe over the next couple of years, we could see this company reach over $100 billion in market cap, not 100 trillion, my God. But also talking about their financials, we can see their EPS growth is great, from 36 cents to over 91 cents, about tripling in just 3 years. And then much of the same with their revenue, going from 3.56 doubling to around 6.19. So we are seeing great growth for both EPS and revenue. We are starting to see that EPS outpace revenue, which is more bullish in this scenario. So overall, I'm going to have to give SoFi a big old fat buzz rating. Let's go ahead and jump into our next request. Now, our next request is going to come from Hootsie, where he is requesting to see KTOS. Now, KTOS is Kratos Defense and Security Solutions. This is a new one for me, and I've just done some research on this stock. The stock is absolutely exploding. I mean, the stock is up over 300% in the last year and up 40% this week alone. You guys can see it is looking pretty explosive. And if we can go ahead and break through and retest these all-time highs at 115, retesting it around 113, we can definitely continue higher. My only price target for this stock would be about 141, which would be the 1618 of our Fibonacci retracement right here. And you guys can see if you flip it over, you can find a price target higher, but there isn't a big enough pullback to use your Fibonacci extension tool, so we'll have to settle for that for now. But I do want to go ahead and jump over to the financials because I do have a slight problem with this stock. Now, EPS growth looks great. They're going from 54 cents all the way up to $1.57 in the next 3 years. That is amazing. We are seeing great growth in EPS. But my issue comes in when we are talking about their revenue to market cap. This company is worth just about $20 billion, and they are only doing around $1.3 billion in revenue. Now, that is way too far of a multiple for me to be buying into this stock. And even in 2028, where they are looking at a $2.2 billion in revenue for the full year, that is still a crazy multiple of well over 10 for me to be jumping into this stock. And by then, if the stock price is higher, which the chart could be indicating, I would definitely not be looking at this stock for long term. It is just too high for me. It is just a little bit overvalued. If we can pull back, at $75 or $60 or $70 right here, I may have been looking for an entry. But at 115, where we're up already 40% and over 300% in the last couple of years, I would not be looking at KTOS. And for that reason, I am going to have to give this one a Chuzz rating. Next up, we have the GOAT Radio Berry coming in with a TE request. You guys know T1 Energy, ticker symbol TE, is one of my top stock picks for 2026. So I'm very happy to break this one down. You guys can see this is one of the better looking cup and handles that I have ever seen in my life. Breaking through this cup, coming back, retesting this prior resistance as newfound support, and then absolutely exploding off of it. You guys know we've been in TE for about 2 months now, and we're already up over 125%. We are seeing a small pullback right now, which we did already go ahead and start to buy back in. And I would love to get a larger buyback at $5.32, as this company is looking absolutely amazing. Now, my next price target is going to be up to $9.37, which is up 195% from our entry. From prices today, that is still a pretty decent gain, but of course not as good at 36%. Then following that, we have a price target all the way up to 443% at around $17, which indicates all-time highs. That is up around 433% from our entry, and it's still up around 147% from an entry today. Now, overall, TE is looking absolutely great, and I really do love this company. Now, jumping over to the financials for TE, you guys can see it is rating a strong buy with an upside potential all the way up to around $15, where mine is up just a little bit higher to around $17. But taking a look at EPS, you guys can see from 2024 to 2028, 2024 we saw an EPS up $3.20 for a loss, and in 2028 we're expected to see about $1 in profit, which is very bullish. That is a crazy change right there. And also much of the same for revenue, as we are going from $3 million in 2024 all the way up to $1.71 billion. $1.71 billion. in 2028. Now, this company is worth $1.67 billion right now, so of course you guys know that we could definitely see more upside potential, and if we are to continue to see their guidance getting raised and we are continuing to see their contracts come in, we could definitely see this company be worth well over $10 billion in the future, which is my personal prediction by, 2030 to 2032. So overall, I think it's pretty clear that I'm going to go ahead and rank TE a big old fat buzz, baby. Let's get into the next one. Now, jumping into our final request, we have my boy Cortez Cash Flow coming in with QBTS. This is D-Wave Quantum, and I am very, very interested to talk about this stock. Now, in my personal opinion, it looks like the stock is going to go lower. I believe that we do deserve to go lower, and we'll talk about that in a second as well. But overall, I want to see this stock look at this bear flag right here and push all the way down through this 200 EMA, all the way back down to around $12. Now, I am not bullish on D-Wave at all. I'm not bullish on quantum stocks at all. I bought Rigetti at $3. I played it all the way up to $50. I made 1,400% on that return. I understand quantum, and I understand that quantum is nowhere close to the valuation that it's currently at. Now, this company is worth $10.25 billion, $10 billion plus dollars, even on a pullback. Back up here, it was worth over $30 billion. That's insane. And this company, not only do they have no EPS growth over the next couple of years, zero EPS growth. I mean, seriously, from negative 21 cents to about negative 18 cents, 5% EPS growth. That's awesome. And then revenue growth, while yes, it is growing, they're doing $25 million a year as a $10 billion company. Are we serious? Are we serious? And they have price targets up 70%? I get it. And I do agree that quantum's going to be something in the future, but they have openly talked about it. And I say they, CEOs, and market makers have talked about how quantum companies do not have a product. They will not have a product for a couple years, and they will not be profitable for at least 10 years. That is why I got out of Rigetti. I knew that they were overpriced at the time, but that is literally why I sold. The CEO in a keynote said, we will not have a product that will be profitable for 10 to 15 years. Huh? 10 to 15 years? And you're telling me these companies are worth, 1,000 times revenue? Rigetti was worth 2,000 times, price to sales or price to earnings or one of those stats. What? What? Are you kidding me? Even in 2028, this company is going to be doing 1,000 times revenue. That's insane. Insanely bad, by the way. So for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and just give this company a big old Chuzzington. Big old Chuzzington. This is buns, okay? And I'm not, and nothing against you, Mr. Cortez Cashflow, but when you are going for a company, stick to your name. Look for something with cash flow. These companies aren't going to have cash flow for another 15 years. I have no clue why people are so obsessed with these quantum stocks. In the future, once they do have a product, say 12 years down the line where a product's 3 years out, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'm down. I've bought Oklo before because they're a few years out from having a product. And obviously I'm up so much right now that I've taken trims and I'm just in profit. But you know what I'm saying. A company that is at 2,000 times price to sales. That's insane. Way too much. Let me see if I can actually find it. Okay, this isn't as bad. 415 times price to sales. Let's go look at Rigetti. What is Rigetti at? It's pulled back, so of course my point isn't going to be made as much. But look, Rigetti's down. Rigetti is down like 50% from highs. Over 50% from highs, and it is still at 1,000 times price to sales. Are you kidding? This shit is going to make me go crazy, bro. Like, literally make me go crazy. Look at this. You're down over 50%. I know I'm absolutely rambling right now, but look, down 60%. That means at one point we were at like 2,400 price to sale. I just wanted to make I wanted to make a statement here. I hope that point has been made. I'm going to stop rambling here. I'm going to give D-Wave, I'm going to give QBTS, I'm going to give the quantum sector as a whole a big old fat Chuzzington, bro. Chuzzington. All right, well, that is going to wrap up another edition of Buy or Sell from your boy, better known as Buzz or Chuzz. I hope you guys really did enjoy that. I enjoyed shitting on quantum names. I enjoyed talking about some of my favorite stocks in today's video, such as Meta. I also do enjoy talking about some stocks I haven't heard of, such as KTOS. And I enjoy listening to you guys, taking some, of your requests and being able to give you guys some answers. I hope I was able to answer all of your guys' questions today. And once again, if you guys do have any questions or any other stocks that you guys want to see requested, I would love to continue to do these videos. They are probably my favorite videos to make. So let me know in the comments down below some stocks that you guys may want to see in the next buy or sell video. Make sure you guys do drop a like, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications so you guys do not miss the next one. And lastly, make sure you guys do click that first link in the description down below. Join up on our Discord so you guys can have one of your stocks featured in our next buy or sell video or any video that we have in the future. And make sure you guys check out one of the two videos on each side of me, and I will see y'all in the next video. Later.